Welcome to the Concierge Business Circle podcast, where we talk about scaling smarter, leading stronger, and creating the freedom you started your business for. I'm Candice Burris. Let's dive in. Today's episode is deeply personal. Last week, I turned 50, and over the past several days, I found myself reflecting deeply, not on what's next, but on everything that brought me here. The moments I survived, the setbacks I overcame, the identities I had to shed, the resilience it took to keep going when life gave me every reason not to. What keeps hitting me is this. My life is proof that resilience compounds, not in one dramatic breakthrough, but in the quiet decision over and over again to keep going. There are so many moments where the story could have ended differently. I survived the unimaginable trauma of my father killing my mother. I endured sexual misconduct multiple times. I experienced homelessness at 15. I dropped out of high school, only to return a year later and still graduate on time. At 19, I faced an unplanned pregnancy that led to the private adoption of my beautiful son. I battled drug addiction to include heroin, LSD, crack. I've had a DUI. I've walked through countless horrific romantic entanglements. And there were years where self-sabotage and self-deprecating behavior were simply how I lived and have been living for a very long time. And yet, I kept going. And even after the obvious chaos, life still tested me. I've had 2 rounds of IVF, 2 miscarriages at 10 and 14 weeks, losing my sons, a failed e-commerce business, dreams that didn't work the way I planned, relationships that required rebuilding, and identity shifts that forced me to become someone stronger. This is the part people rarely talk about. Resilience isn't just surviving the obvious hard things. It's continuing to choose hope after repeated disappointment. It's continuing to choose yourself after years of self-abandonment. It's staying in the game when life gives you every reason to quit. And when I look at my life now, through the lens of the gap and the gain, it's honestly breathtaking. I think I'm crying tears of joy, not sadness. I've reconnected with my amazing 30-year-old son. I have a thriving 6-year-old daughter who is pure joy. I earned my executive MBA. I became a CFO. I built myself into an entrepreneur. And I've been married for over 10 years to the love of my life, even though we've had some challenging seasons. I live in a beautiful home in an incredible neighborhood surrounded by amazing friends. Is everything perfect? Hell no. I still haven't reached my financial goals. But when I stop measuring against the gap and start honoring the gain, it's an incredible story of resilience. And this is why I believe resilience in life and resilience in business are the same muscle. You just keep going. You adapt, you learn, you recover, and you rebuild. And the people who win, whether in life or business, are rarely the people with the easiest path. They're the people who refuse to throw in the towel. I believe life rewards resilience. Not instantly, and not always predictably, but it does. So as I step into 50, this is what I know. No matter what you've survived, no matter how many times the plan failed, no matter how far you still feel from the vision, if you keep going, a story can still become beautiful. Sometimes breathtakingly so. So 1 week after turning 50, I'm not going to measure my life by what's still missing. I'm measuring it by what I overcame to get here. And when I do that, all I feel is gratitude for the pain, for the lessons, for the resilience, for the proof that life can become extraordinary when you refuse to give up. This is what the gain looks like. And here's to the next decade. And we all need to keep building our freedom. Thanks for tuning in to the Concierge Business Circle podcast. If today's episode gave you clarity or inspired action, share it with another business owner who's ready to step into their CEO role. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep building your freedom.